So we are here at Area 18 right now, and that's because we have gotten this. You go down to your journal, you'll notice that you'll get a commodity price alert. And that is something... I'm sorry, just need to scratch something down here on my knee. That is something a little bit special to compared to what we have had up until now. Because up until now, it has been so that for trading, you were more or less on your own. I mean, you if you wanted to trade, you needed to find a good route and where the prices were good and where they weren't and all that. That was something for you to discover. But I think that CIG has realized now that in order to give trading a little bit more life, and you have to understand, even though I really don't care much for pirates, trading is a two-way street, because trading is both, well, people like me that likes to trade, obviously, but it also pirates that can sort of immerse themselves in that kind of gameplay. In order for pirates to pirate traders, there needs to be some traders, and so I think that CIG maybe have tried to find a way to sort of invigorate this route, this gameplay loop a little bit more. So one of the really cool things that we have gotten in this commodity price alert here is that CIG has obviously, thankfully, thought both about people in relatively small ships and relatively large ships. For example, let me just show you what we can see right here on this screen now. For medium-sized ships, you can buy construction material at Port Tressler. They will purchase it. For 120.1 Alpha UEC, that is probably 121.1 per unit. And as you can see here, that's what we're going to go for right now. Audiovisual equipment, they will purchase it for 252.48 Alpha UEC. If we go down a little bit, let me just show you. So you can see here, Arccorp Mining Area 157, they will sell overstock helium. So if you have a relatively big ship like a Carrack or a Caterpillar or the newly released Starlifters, which I can also show you during this stream if I have the time for it. We have roughly about 2 hours streaming time, sort of thereabout. And you can get processed food, and so you can see these prices. I mean, something like this audiovisual equipment, obviously big ships can purchase it too, and I hope that people, I mean, CIG hasn't put it in the game right now. From my perspective, what they are thinking about is that these here audiovisual equipment and construction materials are for relatively small ships, meaning that people with small ships, they can also get an advantage and do something with this. Whereas obviously something like distilled spirits or the even probably the fireworks and helium and all of that, that is more the case for, and I think someone is walking into me right now, that is more the case for bigger ships, so that they can also look like he was listening to music or something. So they also have something to do, and I think that's I actually find that to be a pretty decent thought. But I do hope that people will respect, because CIG, as far as I know, CIG hasn't put any constraints on all of this. So I'm pretty sure that anyone with a ship, whether it being a Star Runner like we're flying right now, my Star Runner, or it being a Starlifter or Caterpillar or Carrack or whatever it is, I'm pretty sure that anyone can buy stuff from that ship, and also that anyone can sell. But the thing is, one of the things that I thought about is, if CIG wants to push us in a certain direction, and I don't mean the sort of the competition or whatever you want to, the fight between pirates and traders or something like that. But if CIG wants to sort of push us in a certain direction so that traders with small ships are meant to go and buy these high value commodities, rare commodities if you will, or whatever you want to put it. And people with big ships are meant to go for the less valuable but still quite profitable, less valuable commodities. I think one of the ways they could do it is actually what has happened to the drug market in Star Citizen since ages ago. Actually, I think it was since 3.10 or something like that. Here there has been a really hard cap, not on how much you can buy. I mean, you can't fill a caterpillar with drugs easily, but you can fill a ship with drugs. I could fill my Star Runner with Widow or something like that, but I can't sell it. I can sell very few minute commodities, stores of that commodity. Let's go and take a look at how much we can get. Yeah, alright, so what I was going at was that, well, it only said area 18, so I suppose it's in here. Sorry I'm mumbling a little bit around, but I'm trying to tell my opinion at the same time as I'm trying to play the game, so that can be... That can be things that goes in both directions at certain times. Yeah, where was I? Yes. I think that what CIG can do if they want to sort of... And I don't know, I mean, this is new for me, so I don't know if they've done it. But my idea was that if they wanted to push us in that direction so that these high-value commodities, and we can see the big problems with Laranite, for example. Laranite, Astatine, and all that, they are being vacuumed by not only a lot of traders, but also traders with these big ships. They can take a lot and then just hang around until they can get some more, and that can be a little problematic. So in the case of this, I think what CIG could do to help small traders like me out a little bit would be to set a cap on how much you can sell of this at a time. Let's see, where is my... There it is, Star Runner. So... That's the fine station. It should be here, trading console. Buy, select the location. Please. Yeah. And Mercury Star Runner. There. 248.1. How much can I buy? All of it. Wow, 2 million. Alright. Well, that is certainly... let us try something a little bit. I wanna do something. Let's try to... Don't want to waste my time calculating that in my head. So let's try to go for 57. Thank you very, very much. We got it. And let's get construction material for the rest. So as you can see, this is a very nice way to get profits, because it's very valuable. And I don't need to fill up my ship in order to get a pretty good price out of it. There we go. So now we should be completely filled. And this is what I have been requesting for a very long time, that people with small ships, and I say, when I say small ships, obviously it's relatively small ships, because obviously the ship that I'm flying, the Star Runner, is not a small ship in that sense. I mean, it's not a it's not an Aurora or Mustang or something like that. But in the trading world, it's a relatively small ship. Oh, right. Just made it. So, the only thing we really need right now, in my opinion, in this context here, obviously, not in a lot of other things we need in Star Citizen at the moment. But what I feel we need right now in the context of cargo trading and commodities and all that, we really need hauling missions. So think about it this way. I'm pretty sure that all of you know what I mean, but let me try to explain it as short as I can, which probably will be a long explanation anyways, but nevertheless, the idea that we are trading commodities, we are buying commodities, then flying them somewhere else to sell them. If you look at the current hauling market or commodity market in our current world, that's really not how it goes, right? How it goes is that person X places an order for X amount of some commodity. That could be visual equipment. When he has that order confirmed and or she has paid the money and the commodities are theirs, or hers, or his, then they hire or procure someone to haul those commodities either to a warehouse where they can store it or to another place where that is meant to be sold. So we have two kind of people in this system here. We have the haulers. That is someone like me with my ship. And then we have the traders in themselves, which most likely probably is sitting in an office and trading commodities back and forth, trading, selling, maybe even in some cases, creating commodities. For example, one of the ways that we have almost that in the game right now is that when I'm mining, I am essentially creating commodities, right? I mean, I'm not in that sense making it, but I'm procuring it in a means that really doesn't mean for me to get, well, money out of the pocket in essence, right? And so one, as it is right now, I can mine some stuff. If I want to, I can sell it. But for almost all of the commodities that we can mine right now, it is much more profitable to refine it. So I mine some stuff, then I refine it, and then right now, as it is right now, I am. Oh, that's a very empty cargo room. But it's probably just because they haven't found an animation or anything like that for it. Nevertheless, I'm getting out of track. So what they could do. No, sorry. As it is right now, when I mine something with my ship, be it the Mole or the Prospector, since we don't have the Orion in the game right now yet, I then fly to somewhere, and that's actually one of the places where this is in place, even though it really is an NPC and it's not so much a player, but nevertheless, as it is right now, I fly to this refinery deck, and then I pay some money in order to get my materials refined. And that's how you do it in real life, right? You'll as a miner, you don't specialize in everything. You probably only specialize in mining. I mine some stuff, and then I fly to this refinery deck, and there I get my my ores or my raw materials. I get them refined, and as it is right now, I will then fill all of those mined materials, refined materials, into my, in this case, my Star Runner, and then I would fly somewhere to sell it. That is actually a way to do it, but I would feel that it would be much more realistic if I could create an order, if you will, on those commodities. And when I say order, I mean I let the market know that I have these and these and these commodities and that I want to sell them. What then happens is that somewhere, be it a player or an NPC, could be a player at, let's say I am on HL2, and we have a big time trader sitting at Area 18. He would then find my order, my proposed order, in the with a proposed price in the in his Mobiglass, and then he would say, all right, I would like to buy that. Then either I would procure someone to haul that from HL2 to Area 18, or he would do that. So, but the idea here is that in almost all cases in real life, being the exception of these gigantic companies that, I mean, buy up everything, it usually is the case that miners mine, traders trade, and haulers haul. And they're rarely the same person. In this case here, they are the same person. And I would say, in my case, I like it this way. And that's a choice that I can do. I can say, well, it's also just as realistic that I have my mining ship that I mine with, and then I have my hauling ship that I haul with. So I go out and mine. Alright, so yeah, I think that it's also realistic, the chain that goes so that I go out with my little mining ship and then I mine whatever I find. That's just the way I do it. And I can, if we have time for it, going back and forth here and trading a little bit, I can show you what I do when I mine. Because I just take the mole into the Aeron Halo, and then whatever rock I find, I mine it, I store it, I refine it, and then I sell it. And I know that a lot of other miners, a lot of other people that plays the gameplay loop here would say it's a complete waste of time. Because corundum, quartz and all that, they are worth almost nothing. So you need to fill a pretty big ship in order to sell that for real money, a lot of money. Well, to a point, right? Because if I mine a heck of a lot of that stuff, and the beauty about quartz and corundum and aluminium and all that is that even though they are not very profitable per small amount, you get a lot of it in most of the rocks. The very valuable stuff, you don't get a lot of that, but the low value stuff, you get a lot of that, obviously, right? So by trading a lot and then just going slowly to place to place and sell off all of that stuff, you can actually make some money out of it. You probably won't become a billionaire in a matter of days, but you can make some money mining like that. And most importantly, that's just the way it's more fun for me. I don't find it funny to or interesting to scour around hours upon hours to find the perfect rock with just the exact amount of Quantanium that I need, and then fill up a mole or a prospector with that. It will give a lot of money, no doubt about that, but I just don't find that part of the gameplay loop very funny. I'm not entertained by doing it, but I am entertained by mining. The mining in itself, the way you break the rock with the laser and then you sniff it up, all of the stuff you want. That part I enjoy. So yes, I go out and mine these things, and then I take it back to the refinery, pay some money to get it refined, and then I get my stuff back. Now I have a little stock of whatever I have refined. So as it is right now, I will basically do the other half of the trading. So in trading, you go out, you buy some stuff, then you have it in your ship, then you can fly to a station and store your ship, but in any case, you take your ship and then you fly to somewhere else and then you sell it. So as the mining loop is right now, after I've refined it, I store that on my ship and then I fly somewhere to sell it. A more realistic approach would be, or maybe not even only realistic, but probably also more fun and more diverse way to do it would be, again, I create an order. And you can say it's kind of like a beacon, but you don't get a marker on me, but I put out an order, whatever you want to call it, sale proposal in the system, on the Moby-class, where I say I have these and these amounts of, I don't know, corundum, laranite, quartz, whatever, and I want to sell it. My proposed price is this amount, and then people can buy in. They can sort of, I won't call it bet, but they can offer their price. And then I said, well, I want to sell it to you. So instead of me then going and hiring someone to move the stuff, I just do the loop that I would have done in any case. I would fill that stuff in my ship, then I would fly it to New Babbage, Area 18, wherever the person is that bought my stuff, and then sell it to him. Just like I would go to and sell it to a trading division or one of the admin offices, I will then just sell it to a person, kind of like when we transfer money. But in this case, he transfer money to me, and I transfer some good to him. And obviously, that has to do not only in the Moby-class app, but that has to do with the commodities in themselves. He has to have somewhere to store it. But I would argue that 90% of what I have mentioned here right now is already in the game, is already in Star Citizen. It's just a matter of connecting all of these things together in order to create this kind of loop. And I won't be going and saying that it's easy. I don't think it's easy. I think that creating a loop like that will take a heck of a lot of time for the developers. They'll create a lot of new bugs and that has to be fixed and all that. I'm just saying, as I see it with what we have in the game right now, I see it as an option. It's possible to do it. And I think it would make it so that we could choose not to fly, if we will. I know that we all get a ship when we enter the game, because that's really the only way you can enter the game, is to buy a package with a ship. But I don't think it's everyone that wants to fly around all the time. Probably someone just want to have something like an Aurora or Mustang or something like that, and then they use that ship to transport themselves around in the game. So obviously, if they need to visit another person that they want to sell their stuff to, then they can obviously do that. But I don't think everyone wants to fly around and be bounty hunters or traders or pirates or whatever. And that's one of the things that I think that the CIG might have to give us the option to. We are getting there a little bit, because just a little actually. I think it's in the start it will only be for NPCs, but the option for players to do it as well should be there. But one of the things that we are getting in one of the upcoming patches, and I'm really not sure when it is at this moment, 3.15 should be it. But other than that, I'm really not sure. Oh, it's not something for me. That's the idea at least, but I'm not sure it will be the case. That is a medical gameplay. So what that essentially will mean, as I understand it right now in the start, is that instead of you spawning in a hab, you will instead spawn at a hospital, which makes perfect sense. You were shot to pieces, and then some ambulance of whatever kind magically found you and put you in the back, and then they the back of the wagon, the ship, whatever, and then they dropped you off at the at hospital, and then the capable doctors put you together again. So obviously it makes much better sense that you would get there, I mean start there, instead of anywhere else. What I see for the future for that gameplay is that eventually it should be players that could do that. So you can go into the game, you can transport yourself to one of these stations with a hospital, and then you can enter the role as, I don't know, doctor, nurse, whatever you want to do. But I want to say, in my opinion, it's a real boon for in my opinion, for Star Citizen, that they have created these commodities that are better for, let's see, all source cargo 1.4, and I thought it was 1 million, wasn't it? That should be, let's see how much we get to. Let's see, construction material. That should be around 25,000, something like that. Let's see, commodity price, something has been updated. Let's take a look at it. So, Tressler. They both want processed food and understock. They still want audiovisual equipment, so we can definitely go with that. We can also go with construction materials. So let's see, they sell, Lorwell sells it for 124.8. And Bettini Point, Port Tressler buys it for 127, so let's just see. 124, 127. Let me just get a calculator. So we had construction selling 124.8. Alright, let's just quickly try to calculate this. So 124, that's 127.03. All that. So 127, and we need to subtract 124.8. 2.23. Times 25,000. That's really not much. Let's try it for the let's see, we bought it at Area 18. That was let's see, what did we sell that for? The audiovisual equipment, 252.51. 252.51 minus. And let's see, we bought it at Area 18, 248.99. 248.99. 3.52 times 114.00. 40,000. And here I was hoping for 400,000. But I mean, it's better than nothing, right? So 120,000 roughly in 2 trips, in 4 trips, sorry. That's not bad, not for a ship like that. But let's go take a quick peek at the cargo center. See if anything new has happened here. Probably not, but who knows. That is, in my opinion, one of the... If I had to come with something... Right. If I had to come with something that honestly was kind of a big disappointment in Star Citizen, it was this part here. they made us this grand, pretty cool, in my opinion, actually, cargo center.
Hi, welcome to the store.
Thank you. And then, really didn't give us anything. With clothing, undersuits, weapons, orbits, weapon, pyro. I mean, seriously, the Novikov helmet and all that. I mean, I get that, but this is a trading cargo deck. Where the heck is the cargo, right? There's no cargo gameplay here. Let's see if there's any new ships here we can, if you wanted to. Freelancer, Cutlass Black, seems to be the same. The courier here. I mean, even the cargo dispatch is just probably random numbers or something like that. So I'm not disappointed in itself of the cargo room. I think the cargo deck, I think it's pretty well made. I'm disappointed in the complete and utter lack of functionality. And the reason why I probably is most disappointed is that we didn't really get anything, right? I mean, when they made the refinery deck, we got gameplay there almost instantly. They put in the refinery deck, and then we had gameplay there right away. But with the cargo deck, we just didn't get anything. And in my opinion, I mean, that is honestly quite disappointing. But nevertheless, let's see if we can find something interesting here to get. So that would be... Alright, let's go down and take a look at the admin office in New Babbage. And alright, let's do some more, a little bit more trading. And then see if we can also find the time to go mine a little bit so I can show you my mining routine. And if you haven't watched that video yet, then please go and do it. It's the latter part of the video where I show you some of the small clips from some of the shenanigans that I've been doing with the Kerber Force. One of the things that we did, which is actually pretty funny, a pretty funny idea by Kerber, but please try to go to my YouTube channel and see if you can find it. Was that Cobra wanted us to make a coupled jump. I mean, so you, I don't know if you are new to Star Citizen, you probably don't know this, but if you're not new to Star Citizen, you hopefully know this, that if you have some ships in a group, I mean, if you're in a group, in a team, whatever you want to call it. If you are relatively close together in those ships, you have one person spool up the ship. Let's see, Promenade Commons must be this way. Yeah, you have one person spool up the ship. That is hopefully not accurate. Hangar 20. That is definitely an open space hangar. Oh well, nevertheless, I'm getting away from the subject once again. Sorry, admin office. Where the heck is the admin office? Nevertheless, let me just think it's one of these empty planetary surfaces and something like that. Yes, it is planetary. Nevertheless, all right. So we have this guy spool up his ship in preparation. When he's spooled up, all the other ships will spool up. (24905). Let me put that down. Sorry if you can't hear me that well. It's just because I'm looking past the microphone. So let's see. 249.05. Let's see what we can buy it for. Probably 2 million something. 2.839059. 2.839059. Alright, so now we have those numbers. Let's and we can only buy that here, so there's no need to worry about it. 2 million. I'm down to 1.5. Sorry, 1.5. 15 million, not 1.5 now. Yeah, that would make perfect sense. I have 1.8 million and then I buy something for 2 million and then I'm down to, yeah, right. So, sorry. Sometimes you shouldn't really believe that I'm actually a wrong way physicist, but I am. With a lot of math that goes to that as well. Alright, back to the subject before. So, we have this guy we call our leader. And not sort of in an absolute sense, but he's just our leader in this case. He spools up his ship and
Good purchase.
and when he is spooled up and ready, he tells all his other friends to spool up as well. And so when they are spooled up, he will then engage the quantum drive. And then all the other... should be it. And then all the other ships will take a common, collective, whatever you want to call it, quantum jump. So that means that all the ships will jump together. There's, as you can see in this video, and that's very interesting actually, two things that happens. When you are doing an interplanetary or planetary jump, what I mean with this is between planets in the Stanton system or between a planet and a moon. So, I mean a jump in open space, really. Then the slowest ship, the ship with the slowest quantum drive, will take precedence over all the other ships, and so you will follow the slowest ship. So in this case here we had an 890 jump, and I'm pretty sure it was the 890 that set the precedence here. So it took a while to to complete that jump. But interestingly enough, when we did a planet or moon to surface jump, so when you are wrong button on the keyboard. When you're on the surface of a moon or the surface of a planet or something like that. Sorry, not when you're in orbit around the moon or orbit around a planet. When you do the same thing, because we did that as well, we collected all the ships that we could find, all the ships, and then we I think it was on Daymar. I can't remember if it was 141 or if it was Shubin or whatever it was, but nevertheless, we made the same kind of collective jump, but this time down to the surface of the moon. And what happened here instead was that every ship would follow its own quantum velocity. Meaning that the kind of quantum drive that I have on the had at that case on the Mercury Star Runner was an XL1, I think it's called, or Cross, one of the high tier military ones. That would come roughly the same speed as some of the fastest ones, and some of the slower drives would come afterwards. So instead of having this collective bunch of ships coming out of Quantum at the exact same time, you would instead see these strings of pearls, strings of ships coming sort of pop onto the surface of the planet. And obviously I saw it from the perspective of my ship, but one of the guys that was down at the surface or near the surface, he used that exact expression. It was like seeing a string of pearls, quantum pearls, entering the surface, the atmosphere of the ship. So go check that video out because it's really cool. But other than that, I tell you a little bit about afterwards, all of that. I tell you a little bit about my plans, my future plans for streaming, actually. I know that now we are in the PU and doing some trading and possibly keeping an eye on time. Possibly also doing some mining, but I know that for the moment, what we're going to spend most time on will definitely, in my opinion, definitely be the upcoming Fleet Week.
Oh,
All right, so let's see what we can sell this for. Hopefully something around 2.9, preferably 3 million. Let's see. $23.40. We might have time to take one single trip mining. Hello. I don't want to talk to him. Alright, let's see. Sell. All source 2.8. Oh, let's see. That's really not much. That is a very little amount. But let's see. Sorry if you heard that. Clock. 2.54, and that is 2.878.893. That's really not much. Well, let's sell it because, I mean, why the heck would I want to hang around on it, have it? Alright, let's see. Let's try to calculate. So we have 252.54 minus 249.05, 3.39, 3.49, and we multiply that with, that's almost 40,000. That's not bad. It was 3.49. 3.49. I think that's more than Laranite actually. So that's an okay deal. But it's also much that you risk. So let's see how much it is in money. 39,834. And before we calculate it, it should be 39,786. So it's a little bit more, but I mean, round up errors and all that. That's given the fact that you risk 2.8 million. That's even more if you fill a caterpillar with Laranite. I think in that case you would risk, I think it was 1.4 million. Let me just get those numbers up. Yeah, 1.4 million, 1.44 million. And you have 30.31.01 minus 25, 6.01. So if you could sell it, let me just, so that's times 57600. That's 46,176 for filled caterpillar with Laranite. So you risk, that's probably something that CIG needs to look into a little bit. You risk a heck of a lot more, and I know The prices that I took was during the festivities of 3.9, where you could buy to the lowest possible price and you could sell it at the highest possible price. I know that, but still, given those circumstances, I think that when you risk almost 2.9 million, I think you should at least get, in sort of average circumstances, you should at least get 200,000 back selling that. That's my opinion. Even if you do it in a Mercury Star Runner like I do. But I mean, that's up to CIG to figure if they want to do that or they want to do something else. I mean, that's not up to me. Let's go to Hurl 2 and whip out a mole and see if we can mine something interesting. The question is trading fixed? And my honest answer is, in my opinion, no, it's not. But it's definitely with this page here, we need something more CIG. But I think this is a start. We need a dedicated page on our Mobiglass where we get relatively updated prices, so we don't have to jump around all around in the system to figure out where the prices are lowest. And people say, well, that's part of the gameplay because then you have to explore. No, imagine if you had to run around the entire city in order to find a particular stock that you wanted to trade and realize it. This is what we are doing here. We are trading stocks just with commodities. It's the exact same thing that is happening. We are risking our money on a certain commodity. Albeit we are transporting it ourselves. That's what I talked about a little while ago. But we're risking our money on a certain commodity. We could choose to hold on to it and then sell it for more. But usually we just trade it as we go. But it's like the stock market. So, and my opinion, my vision, what I see is that if we get a tool like that, a tool that gives us freshly updated commodity prices in the Mobiglass, press the Mobiglass and then we press a button somewhere here or something, and then we get a fine list where we could look at, we can scroll for commodities, we can go for outposts, whatever. We get a list and we can sort it for the lowest price. I would argue that such a tool would give everybody a more interesting way of doing these things, more interesting gameplay regarding trading, and we would also get a much more dynamic and interesting trading gameplay. And furthermore, and for some people that I don't really like, for pirates, that would be such a boon for pirates. Think about it. They can open that Mobiglass as well, and they can say, here the prices are lowest right now. I think, guys, we're going to hang out here and see if we can find something interesting to pirate. Because right now, what we are dependent on is outside. I mean, players, I get it, it's players that do it. But we are depending on third-party web pages that give us these commodity prices. And the problem here is that these prices are depending on a player that have been there and checked out the prices at that point. And the problem is that when you buy, you can't, but when you sell, you can't. You can't just go to a place. Let me just turn the speed down because I'm jumping all over the place. You can't just fly to an outpost and then check out the selling prices. No. You need to have that commodity readily available in your inventory in order for you to check out these prices, meaning then in order to check a lot of prices at one go, you would have to buy a little bit of each and then check out the prices, and then you can go around and check all of these prices. I mean, I think it would be much better if CIG just gave us some kind of tool inside the game to check out these things. And like I said, this little paper or whatever, this updated prices, special prices, just like an offer, they are a start. They're definitely a start, but we need it for all of the commodities. And think about it. Why on earth wouldn't you have a centralized tool somewhere in a system like this where you could check out all the prices? You have magazines, both online and in paper version, in our world right now, where you can check stock prices and commodity gold prices, diamond prices, whatever you want to buy, and speculate in. You can check these prices all over the place. So obviously we'd definitely have something in Star Citizen as well. And I know, it's an alpha, it's on the way, they're doing it, they're working on it. Yes, I know. But I'm just saying to those players that I've met, and I mean not met in person, but I've argued with them on Spectrum or something like that says, no, that would ruin the gameplay because then we can't go and stuff, then we know to, and you have to. No, that would not ruin anything. It would make it much better, much more entertaining, much more fun, and especially, though I hate saying it, much easier and much more fun for pirates, because then they know where to go. And for traders, that would then be a gamble. Do I dare go here? The prices are good, but the pirates also know that. Should I go to a place where the price is perhaps a little bit higher, but there's less risk of running into all of those little considerations? Come on. Why on earth wouldn't that be fun for everybody? Alright, so we have just about 5 minutes to go mining. Let's try that. Wow. That is really impressive. Alright, Pad 4. See, this time I remembered. Pad 4. Alright, so although I really enjoy flying in the mole, and I mean it's not really a serious bug, but you can you can see it when we come back. Something happens with the engine, so the legs and stuff slanted inwards. It looks funny. So one of the things that I've noticed, and that's sort of, I think, contrary to what most people would actually say, is that contrary to what I've heard most people say, and let me start by saying what most people say. Most people would probably say that you should use the Prospector mainly for asteroid mining, because it's small, it's nimble, and it only has one laser. So you either have to choose whether it being one kind of laser that you put on, whether it be a Lancet, an Impact, or a Helix, or whatever. That's the case. You have to choose between these, and you only have the power of one laser at a time. You can ask a friend to take his Prospector with you, but you'll still only have when you're soloing, you only have to power one laser. What I've been told by many people is that I should probably use the, sorry, I have something itching underneath my foot. I should probably use the prospector to do what I do here. Go asteroid mining in the Aeron Halo, because I can only fit one laser at a time. I only have the power of one laser, and it's small, it's maneuverable, and all that. Contrary, I should use the mole like this for planet side mining, because or surface mining, because there you can, yeah, one thing that's very important in this context is that the asteroids that you find both around the Lagrange points and around Yela, and also here in the Aeron Halo, they are all below 5,500 kilograms, I think it is, somewhere around that. So they're not too heavy. That meaning that they can be mined relatively easily, all of them, by something like a Lancet laser. And the reason why I mention a Lancet laser is because the Lancet laser is the preferred tool to mine Quantanium. So you can do that. Alright, so here's the thing. Let me just get this a little bit slower.
Engines too hot.
See what we have. Laranite. That's neat. What do we have over here? Hephaestonite, tungsten. All right, so let me Laranite and tungsten. All right, so let me try to sort of tell you what it was that I was thinking about. So people would say that I should use this here, the mole, instead for planetary, mainly, not exclusively, but mainly use it for planetary mining, because it has more laser heads, meaning that you can fit more power onto it. Meaning again that you can break these larger, more hefty rocks, heftier rocks, because you can point more lasers onto a given rock. And I mean, that is obviously when you're doing multiplayer mining. That is obviously the case here, because that's what's sort of in the... But what I've found is that doing it solo, I actually prefer using this ship here, the Mole, as my go-to for mining. Let me see if you can see. You can see... Now you can see what I have the Vox C3 model. I have two FTLR XL modules and one Vox C3 modules. I found that using this ship here for asteroid mining in this area here is much better, because it can fit a lot more in it. And like I said, I'm not being too picky with what I mine, so I'll just mine what I find. And this ship here is perfect for that. On the other hand, if I want to be a little bit more picky, and I usually do that when I surface mine, I prefer to take the prospector down. One other huge advantage of this ship here compared to the prospector is that I can I have 3 laser heads with me at once, meaning that if I want to break a rock like this, which I obviously do, I can use the helix head to do that, or the impact if I wanted to use that. If I come across a rock with, for instance, what's it called? Quantanium, obviously. Then I can use the impact, the lancet, to break it up into smaller pieces. And then again, I can use this head here with the 2 FLTR XL modules on to collect it. Oh, is that all inert? All of them? No. Fortunately not. That would be a bummer. 1 rock with something in and inert for the rest. What else? That is something we... Alright, so let me see if I can break these without destroying my ship. Shift some of the shield power to the front. I can't do that here. Well, that's alright. There we go. Alright, let's see what we have here. Inert. Useless. Tungsten. Oh, sorry. Wrong. Let's break it up. That's what I mean. You often come across these rocks here with, like I said, 100% tungsten. Now, tungsten, it's worth almost nothing. But if you have a lot of it, and you can get a lot of it, then it's worth something, right? And that is why I pick up all of these things here. Now, if I can avoid it, and I usually can, obviously, I try to not pick up rocks with very, very much inert material in it. But sort of commodity-wise, I'm not picky. I'll take anything. Yes, sirree. Thank you very much. Take a little bit more to drink. All right. Let's get rid of this in some way or the other. Hope I don't smash my ship. Destroy it. No, I didn't. All right. Thank you. Alright, so what do we have here? We have some laranite and some inert. That was inert. That was also inert. That was what? 100%? 85. I'll take it. See what we got here. Small aeronite. That was actually not much tungsten. I was expecting more. Oh, we have a big rock right in front of us. Didn't even notice that. Let's see what that contains. Let's see. Laranite? Ah, it's not good, but I think it's good enough. I'll take it. Even though there's a lot of inert material in this rock here. Oh, I can't move up any further. Alright. That's one of the disadvantages of using the mole like I do it right here. When you get in a position like this, you have a rock up there. You need to reposition the ship in order to mine. What do we have here? Inert. Let's remove it. Alright, let's see if we have anything else around here. No. We have this one here. That contains very much inert material. We actually within optimal, but we do also have a rock here. Let me let's break this up first. Oh, we're only insufficient, but manage any case. Let's see what we get. So we get some Hephaestonite. Break it. Down here we have take it. So if we can avoid that rock there getting in the way. So here we have a little bit of, oh, that's not. It's not nice, but it has to do. It will have to do. Let me just get myself out of the way. You have looked at me for enough